So we're here at GoBright, and we're here joined by Simon. If you want to introduce yourself and show us the highlights of this year's ISE.
My pleasure, Kane. My name's Simon Privis. I'm the Channel Development Manager for the UK and Ireland for GoBright, and I'm here to show you all things smart workplace under the GoBright banner. So yeah, we've got a number of updates this year. The main focus for us over the last 12 months has been innovating our platform to support more vendors. So we have some very good long-standing relationships with many different hardware manufacturers, and we've brought two new ones on this year. We've got now Crestron alongside Neat. So that also goes in hand with the Yealink, Philips, Idea and ProDVX brands that we already support. This gives our customers a great deal of choice, but it also means that when we're selecting the right technology, we've got solutions that they may already be using that we can now adapt into with our own software. But it also, again, allows our resellers to position many different options for that customer type. I'll show you an example of a room booking panel we have here. This one is the new Crestron unit. If I want to make an ad hoc booking, I can walk up to any panel, press the Book Now button, choose how long I want the room for, and I can then identify myself, or I can book it anonymously. We have options in the platform to choose how the user can sign in. Once the room is booked, the LEDs will turn red. We can see very clearly how long the room is to be used for. We do also have a summary on the right-hand side, so you can see how much of the rest of the day the room is free or taken, and you can make reservations further into the future if you wish to do so. Other updates, we've also got a new panel from ProDVX, now with a new thin bezel, so that's another panel that we support. And with the Interact device, which is perfect for the smaller huddle spaces, we also have something that is a very small form factor that means that we can support smaller phone booths and spaces where maybe a 10-inch panel isn't suitable. These units also support RFID, so if I were to take the unit just over here, for example, we can see it's currently free. I can hold up my card and I can make that room mine just with one swipe of the card and a selection at a time, and we're good to go. Because of the integration we have, that room booking is now going to be in my Outlook calendar and in the GoBright portal ready for others to see. So here we have GoBright's visitor management experience. For this demo, we actually are using one of Neat's frame devices, so this is normally used for conferencing, but because we're using the Android interface, it means that we can use the very same experience to create a really nice first-rate experience for our visitors when they come into the building. So when a user comes in, the biggest challenge is making sure that we're recording their data in a GDPR-proof manner, so there's no risk of any data privacy issues. But also, we often see requirements where a user will need to be booked in or registered with security or the reception before they come to the office. So GoBright offers both experiences. Typically, if a guest has not been booked in previously, they do have the option to sign in manually. So where we can press the sign in button, they can choose what type of visitor they are. And when we pop in all of our details, we can then progress and nominate who we're here to see. That person will then get a notification. So then, when I'm signed in, someone can come down and greet me without the need for the receptionist to do this manually. However, what we often see is a lot of customers who are coming into a building. It might be down for a meeting or a room booking, for example. Within our GoBright platform, we do have the ability to pre-register visitors before they come in. You can either do that as a standalone pre-registration, or you can do it as part of room booking by nominating the people on the room invite who are external guests. When that experience happens, they will be sent an email with a QR code on it and a personalised invitation, so they know what to expect on the day. You can have images, web links, any details that they must acknowledge beforehand, but they will also get a QR code which they can scan on the terminal. When they have their QR codes, they'd walk up to the panel, press the I have a QR code button and scan their badge or they're on their phone or the printout. Once that's been done, their details will automatically be filled out. They haven't had to do that themselves, and the person they're here to see will also be pre-filled out. Once they're signed in either experience, the person who has registered them initially, the host, will then get a notification either via the GoBright mobile app or via email, so they can then come down and collect their visitor and bring them into the building for a very first-rate experience. So this is one of our map kiosk interfaces. We often find these are proving popular in organisations with agile working, where demand for space is normally driven by immediate demand as opposed to a pre-booking. So we actually redesigned the interface over the last 2 months to make it nice and clean, and all of our resources are now laid out in a very nice logical fashion, so you can find your rooms, desks, parking spaces, lockers, and also you can find the location of a colleague who may already be in the building. So typically the experience is very similar to the rest of our devices in that we can use our RFID cards to register. So if I see a space that is available, what I can do is I can zoom in and see the identities of the people nearby. If I want more information about the name of the person, I can actually click on the booking and that information will be filled out here. If I've got a desk space, for example, that's green and I can book it immediately, All I need to do is one tap, choose how long I want that space, whether it be a room or a desk. In this case, I'll take an all-day booking. And using my RFID cards, using the reader built into this Pro DVX panel here,
Yep.
I can swipe my cards, and this will then put that booking in my name and will synchronise with the rest of the portal. So very, very simple and very natural to use. Normally these are usually put in areas of high footfall, so lifts, stairs, anywhere we've got a large number of people going past to help promote better visibility of the office space. The colleague resource piece is also very useful. So if you have a situation where you're looking for someone to sit near, or perhaps you want to collaborate with a colleague, you can also use this as a reference point. We support this feature in our mobile app as well, but if you are using the terminal, if I type in the name of any person, and in this case I'll use myself, and I press the locate button on the panel, it will show me the identity and location and flash it on screen of where I can sit. So if I'm another person collaborating, I could then take that space opposite, and again, repeating what we did before, make a booking for that space, and now we know we're going to be working together.
Yeah, right.
So here we are at one of the desks on our stands. This is actually introducing our desk module, the Interact. This is a unit that can be used for room booking, but it's also used for desks as well, and can be mounted in a number of fashions. Typically, we'd mount this underneath the desk, but it can be positioned on top or wall mounted on a partition between desks if needs be. The unit essentially operates very similarly to our room booking panels in the way that we can see the visibility of the desk and who's using it. We can see when it's going to be available and the desk's identity. We do also have the ability to make immediate bookings or to check into a booking we've already made. So in this case, we've got the unit that's green, meaning that this desk is available and I can actually use it for an ad hoc booking. Because we've got the RFID reader in the unit, we can identify ourselves through the panel with our cards, and this will then put that desk in our name, until which point we then check out at the end of the day or we're finished with our booking, so we can see my name there. Very neat integration that we created a number of years ago, but we have enhanced over time, is our integration with height adjustable furniture. So this is, I believe, a Linac actuated desk, so we have options also for Yichang and Logic data. But if you are using one of those three actuator systems, we can control the desk height, standing and sitting height from the module. Where it gets very smart is because I'm logged in and it knows who I am, it can use my preset configurations for sitting and standing. If we want to move to a certain height, it's just one swipe to go down to my sitting height. And of course I can stop it if I want to, but it will continue going down to my preset height. And if I want to stand again, it's just one swipe and the desk will return back to standing again. So very ergonomically friendly. And there are manual controls, of course, if you wish to do so too. If you feel that if it's a new employee, for example, they want to save a new height, perhaps they've never used the system before, it's dead easy. Use the manual controls to set the desk to their preferred height, press the preset of where they want to be, press the save button, and then their standing height is saved, and that will now work on any desk they then log into in the future. If you're on a call, perhaps you don't want to be disturbed, we can also set our Do Not Disturb setting, and that will then change the unit to blue. This will also be shown in the map within our portal, and it just allows users to make sure that we're not being disturbed while we're on a Teams call, for example, and when we're ready to go back again, we can then just press the button once and become searchable. And when we're done at the end of the day, hold up our cards, stop the booking, and we're ready, and someone else can now use the space whenever they're ready. One of the major drivers behind companies investing in smart workplace technology is not simply to make the experience suitable for the user when they're coming into the office, but it's actually the data that you can capture from the solution. GoBright's invested a lot of time into enhancing our analytics platform, and we've released a new feature called Advanced Analytics, which allows a much greater depth of knowledge and graphs and data that we can record for an office in use. So we're actually showing that here within the GoBright portal. We've now got tabs for room and desk separate with a much greater level of depth in terms of the information. So some examples we have on screen here is we can see the number of bookings and average duration, so we get a real sense of how the space is being used. We can look at which types of desks are being used more frequently, which can help with investment. Very useful if we're looking at height adjustable desks, for example, so we can see where the investment should be made in further furniture. And we can also look at how occupancy is changing over time. So if we're finding that certain departments, for example, are starting to use desks more, we can predict those trends ahead of time. And if a company is making a decision on changing its real estate in, say, in 18 months' time, it gives them the information to support that conversation and make sure that the space they're investing in matches the needs of its users, not just now, but in the future as well.